we have loaded the data, but right now I want to see what is the data that is there in my info cube. So now I'm going to show you how to see the contents of our info cube. So to see the contents of info cube, okay, so how to see the contents of this particular cube is, so this is the cube which we have loaded yesterday. So select the cube and you can click on manage. So you can select the cube, then click on manage. Okay. So now once I click manage, what is that? Can you see now? Your cube has been loaded. How many times? One time, right? When it has been loaded? Can you see this is yesterday's date? And how many records has been added? How many records has been added now? 10 records. And you can see this data can be used for reporting purpose. A request is available for what? Reporting. Then, can you see now status is what? Green. So now suppose if I made status plus, what is going to happen now? Is it available for reporting? Only when your load is successful, then only this data is available for. Even though you loaded, you have to check for this symbol. If this symbol is there, then only we can say this data is used for reporting purpose. Okay? Then, after this you can go to Contents tab. Okay? Click on Manage. Then after this, where should I go now? You can go to Contents tab. Now here it is asking two things, sir. One is what? Fact table, and the other one is info cube content. Two things it is asking here. What is that? One is a fact table and the other one is a info cube content. So when you say fact table, that is how exactly data is storing inside my cube. What we said, how is data storing inside your cube? In the form of dimension IDs and key figures. Even though you loaded C1 M1, but storage is in the form of. So fact table I have shown you, right? So now, so let us say I am clicking on fact table. This is how exactly data is storing in the database. Now it is going to represent us how exactly data is going to store into my database. So I just clicked on fact table and execute. So now how is that data storing now? In the form of dimension IDs. Actually, what is the data we have loaded? C1 M1, C1 M2. But how is that storage now? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are all, 100. Quantity was 2. 100 into 2 is multiplied by. Key figures are stored as it is, but the characters are stored now with respect to what? Dimension IDs. But can you understand now these values? Now let us say I have cached the dimension IDs. Now this is exactly how now that is. Where is that my computer? Not this one. Yes. Now, how is that not dimension IDs followed by key figures? Okay. Now, here, what is the dimension ID you have seen here? You have 10, 20, something you have seen. But in our case, what is the dimension ID? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us say I am catching my dimension ID and we are moving into my dimension table. So So what for this dimension ID, what value can catch? SID table. So now, same way what I'm doing, this is my cube. So what I'm doing now, I'm going and looking at my D is your what? Dimensional table. Cube name followed by first one is your what? Right. So now, check for dimensionality, what is the value I can catch is? SID value. Now for dimensionality of 2, what is the SID value? For dimensionality of 3, let us say dimensionality is what? 4. SID value is 9. So now, that means here 4 is there. 4 corresponds to what value? 9. So here as in this case, 10 corresponds to 1. Same way here you have seen 4 corresponds to 9. Done. So now I have catched my SID value. Then I can go to my SID table. So now I am going to my SID table now. So what is the SID table? Slash DIC slash yes. This is info object name. Display contents execute. For 9 as the SID, what is the value now? That means 4 is nothing but 9. 9 is nothing but C3. So that means this value corresponds to what? This value corresponds to C3. Understand now? How is that? Any doubts with this part? Done? So storage is now in the form of dimensional. But you will not understand like this. That's why let us say I am going to use what now? My info cube content. So I am just selecting what there? Info cube content. Then it is asking now what fields you want to see for output. I am selecting that field selection for output. Customer number, material number. Okay. Then what is it now? I am selecting request ID. Then calendar date is the date of transaction. And what are the key figures you want to see for your output. Select them. Okay. So once you select them, click on execute. Again, execute. Four people. Now it will convert the values and it will show now. So I selected cube, mayonnaise. I'll come now again. Let me show you again. So now this is what is see C1M1 date of transaction price 100 to 200. Calculation is done. Formula. And if you can see now, he's asking how you have come to the screen. Let me show you again. Select the cube. Then you have to go with mayonnaise. Then go to contents, info cube content. Then what fields you want to see for output. Select the fields. execute it. You know how you came to this screen? Now if you can look at this, see the values C1, M1, what has been loaded now? Same values you can see now. Now did I load any request ID from file? It is taken automatically by that was the default object asset, not technical object. It's taken by the system itself. And if you look at all your 8 records are having same request ID or not. Now how is data storing in the cube is? Fact table F is, or you can say, okay, data in the cube can be handled with respect to what? With respect to the request ID. So we can handle data in the cube with respect to what? Request ID. That's what we call fact table F is partition based on request ID. What is that now? Fact table F is partition based on fact table F is partition based on what? Request ID. So that is what you can see now. What is the data in the cube now was? All the 8 records are having the same request ID or not? So now every time I load data into my cube, every time we load data into our cube, what is going to happen now? It's going to create one partition in your, suppose this is your cube, fact table. Now I have loaded how many records now? 8 records. What is going to happen now? The first 8 records are stored in the first partition. Now how many partitions are there in this cube now? 1, and the other one is empty totally. So the number of partitions in your fact table is nothing but n plus 1. N is the number of times you have loaded. So now I have loaded 1 time. The number of partitions is now, suppose first time we loaded 10 records, right? Suppose, imagine after some time I am loading some 50 records. Now again, what is that now? All these 50 records will be stored into the second partition. So every time I load data to my fact table, it will be creating one partition inside my cube. Clear now? So that is what we call fact table F is partitioned based on what? Request ID. Understand now? Done? Right. Now, see now I want to see the partition, suppose. I think you just please reconnect your team viewer. Some problem is there. Now, so now suppose I want to see that partition what it has created in my fact table. So now, what is it now? How to see the how to see the partition? So you have to use a T code called SC14. What is the T code I have to use is? So now go with SC14. Now it is asking to give you a table name. Which table is that now? We are speaking is fact table. What is that cube name? YIC underscore. Click on edit. Give that fact table name. After this you can click on edit. Then you have to click on the storage parameters. Now, what is there here? Partition mapping. How many you have now? 2 points. That's what I said, right? Every time I load, it will create one. So the number of partitions is as I said n plus 1. So n is the times you are loaded. 1 time I have loaded. So first partition, let us say 8 records are storing, this is now maximum value, that is the empty partition. Clear now? So every time I load data into my fact table, it will create one partition into your fact table. That is very, very, very important. What you can say, fact table F is partitioned based on request ID. Clear? Done? Now, clear how to load data into the queue from a file is clear? Done? Now let us say after some time I have got a new file. Loading is not a one-time activity. I said loading is a continuous activity. Let us say after some time I have got a new file. Price, unit of price, then quantity, unit of quantity, revenue, unit of revenue, and calendar. Okay. So now after some time I have got a new file now. Right. Now let us say this file has how you can say modified record. All characteristic values are same. Customer, material, calendar day, units, all the characteristic values are same. If key figure value is changing, that we call it as a modified record. That's what the logic, right? Modified record means what? Earlier you made some transaction, later on you are modifying that. So the transaction parameters are same, but only the... So let us say first we have ordered for how many units now? 2 units. But later on I have changed my mind and I said I want 5 units. So now, what is the second file I have? Same thing, customer 1, material 1, price is 100, it is INR, but quantity has been changed from 2 to, it's not a new transaction, it is a, that means value has changed from 2 to 5. Revenue has changed from 200 to 500. And see now date is also same, 2010, then 12/27, okay. And let us say this is some new transaction. So now I have now 2 records in this my file. One is a modified record and another one is a new transaction. Okay. So now file has 2 records. I am going to save this file now as a CSV file. Okay, let us say this is my modified transaction data file. Okay, your second transaction data file. Okay. Now this file I want to load it into my info cube. This file I want to load it into my. So once I loaded data into the queue, what should happen? The value has been 2 should be changed to 5 and new transaction has to be updated. Just observe now what has happened. Now everything is ready. Where should I start from? Cube is ready, data source is ready, transformations is ready. Just only scheduling. Scheduling is from where? Info package. So now I am going to my info package. So go to data sources. This is my data source. This is my info package. In my info package, what I am going to do? I am just changing my. We are changing my file name. Right now, my file is on my local workstation desktop. Search, browse for it. Desktop, empty data, and one row has to be clear. So everything is ready now. Only scheduling now. Go to schedule tab. Click on start. So once you click on start, what happens now? These 2 records will be coming to your PSA. Look at monitor now. So this is the load what you did yesterday. 10 records are loaded. This is the load what we have loaded today. How many records are loaded now? 2 records has been loaded to your PSA now. You want to see the data in the PSA, same thing, select this load and you can click on, right, manage PSA. So 2 records are available in your. Then what has to be done? Data has come to PSA, you have to trigger a DTP. This is your DTP. Execute tab. Click on execute. So do you want to see the monitor now? Yes. You know extraction, how many records is extracting now? The 2 records has been extracting now. Load is successful. Now if you want, you can look at your partitions. How many should be there now? Earlier it was 2. Now it should be 3, right? N plus 1. So just go back, just like a kind of refresh, storage parameters. Clear? So first partition 10 records are storing. Next partition 2 records are storing. And the last one is the empty partition. Every time I will load data into the fact table, as I said, it has been. Now you want to see the contents. How to see the contents of the cube, you said? This is your cube. Manage. So this has been loaded how many times now? 2 times. And it is available for reporting purpose. Look at contents. Info cube content. Then what fields you want to see for output? See now, up to 8 records has same request ID. Next 2 records has having a same request ID. Now, what are the values now? C1 M1 2. Then again C1 M1. Even though all values are same, why it is not adding up? Because there is a difference in your request ID. There is a difference in your. Suppose if I remove request ID. Suppose imagine I am developing a report. That will not consider any request ID. What is the value will come for reporting C1 M1? 2 plus cube property is what I said. ID 2. So it will become 7. But actually data in the source is what? 5. That means there is a mismatch of data being happened. Why is this mismatch is happening? Because system is unable to identify whether what are the data that is coming is a modified record or a newly record. So it's by default taking everything as what? New record. So what is going to happen there? Now you are getting a mismatch of your data. That means if you are directly loading data into the cube, is there some problem now? There is no problem with the new transaction, but when a modified record is coming, so definitely there is some. Why is this problem is arising? Because your data source, that means from where you are extracting, is unable to maintain the reference to understand whether it is a modified record or a newly added record. This reference, we call it as a image. The reference should be in the form of what? Image. So now why is this problem is? Because your data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of a image. That's why you are facing this particular problem. So now, what is that now? See? Okay? This problem is arise. Now what was the problem? Just observe now. Suppose this was my file 1. This is my file. From file where I am loading? You are loading into my? You are loading into cube, right? So let us say I got a file 1. Okay, first file I have got. Now in this first file I am having 10 records, suppose. First example itself. What is that? You have data now, customer, material, price, quantity, then So what was that file 1 data was? C1, M1, price was 100, quantity was 2, then revenue was. Now what I am doing? From here we are loading it into my info cube. What is going to happen now? So same data is going to come to my. Now data in the file, data in the cube both are same. Then after some time I got a file 2. It has now, let us say, 2 records. Okay. So now what is that now? C1, M1. It has changed from 2 to 5, 200 to. Now what is the data in the source now? Data in the source is what? It has been changed from. The value will be replaced in the source, but when you are loading into the cube, what is going to happen now? Okay, so now in the cube what is going to happen now? It is going to add up, right? Clear? So that is the problem, right? So now data in the source is 500, data in the target is becoming, because cube property is, what is that I said? As a storage wise it may be 2 records, but when you develop a report, it will show as 700 only. So now this problem is happening. This problem is happening as my data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of what? In the form of images. Why is this problem is arising? Because your data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of what? Images. If that is the case, if the data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of what? In the form of images, what has to be done? You have to load data to what? DSO, data store object. If the data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of image, load data to DSO. DSO will maintain the images. DSO will maintain the images. From DSO, load data into what? You have to load data into your info cube. Now, if the data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of what? Images. So you have to load your data to DSO. Then DSO will maintain the images. Okay. From DSO, you have to load your data into your info cube. Understand the logic now? What is it? If the data source is not maintaining the reference in the form of a image, then you have to load your data to DSO. This DSO will maintain those images. Then from DSO, we have to load data into my info cube. Alright. Suppose if data source itself maintains the images, no need to load data to my DSO. Directly I can load it into my info cube. When you are extracting from R3, but right now it is a file. So when it is speaking about file, file doesn't maintain any file data source, will not maintain any references, it will not maintain any image. That means if you are extract, it will maintain the images. From there, I need to load it into my info cube. Here's the logic now. So now, what is that now? See, you have different types of images that are maintained. Okay, images are what? The reference maintained by the system. Images are the reference maintained by the system to understand what type of record is that. That is, it's a modified or a new record or a. So you have different types of images are there. The first one being called as new image. So new image is represented by a symbol called as what? N. That means at the end of the record, what it will put? 920, 920, 930. So now, new image. First one is called as new image, which is represented with what symbol now? N. Second one is called as before image. The symbol is represented as X. Then third one is called as after image. There is no symbol for after image. It's just blank. So there is no symbol for after image. It is just blank. Okay. So these are the images that it will be maintained in by your DSO. So now, what is it now? First one being called as. So now suppose how is that my some file. First we are loading our data into DSO where it will maintain the images. From DSO we are loading our data into my info cube. First from file we are loading it into DSO. There DSO it maintains the images. From DSO where I am loading now to my info cube. Now suppose this is your 10 records file 1. File 1 has 10 records now. What I am doing? These 10 records we are loading it into my DSO first, right? So now how many records will enter into DSO now? How many records will enter into DSO now? All the 10 records will come. Now, what is going to happen now? At the end of this, so any record which is entering for the DSO for the first time will be marked as N. That means this is a record which has came newly to the DSO. That is what is your new image. So what is new image? Any record which enters the DSO for the first time will be marked as what? Will be marked as N. That is nothing but your new image. Any record which enters the DSO for the first time will be marked as N. That's nothing but your new image. Then, so that for all the 10 records, what it will do? It will put as N. Then from here, we are loading into my now data in the file is same as what is the data that is there in your info cube. Done. Now after some time I got a 2 records. What is the 2 records now? C1M1. It has been changed from 2 to 5. So it's a modified record. So now what is the data in the sources? You have this particular data is replaced there, right? And after some time, what was that now? Other one was? This is again was a new transaction. So file 2 has 2 records aside. Now when I am loading it there, when I am loading it to my second time I am loading how many records now to DSO now? One is modified record and other one is. So now when C1M1 is entering into a DSO, already for C1M1 there is a record called. That means it will understand that whatever data that is coming now is nothing but a modified record, because already there is something called as N. There is already something called as new image. That's why what is going to happen now? It will understand now what are the data that is coming now is nothing but a modified record. Okay? So now whenever we are loading modified record to DSO, a modified LUW to my DSO, actually one modified record I am loading, but in the DSO it will be taking as 2 records. So now what is that now? See, view image is clear. Then, so next see what is that? Whenever we load a modified record, a modified LUW to DSO, what it will do? It takes as what? 2 records. What are the 2 records is? One is, that's nothing but your before image. What is that now? Before changing, what is the value? Before changing, what is the? So what is the value before changing now? It's nothing but same record as what? Your same record as N. Before changing the value is this one. So it takes now same record as N. But what? Key figures being multiplied by -1. But your key figures being multiplied by what? This is nothing but your before image. So what is that now? Before changing, what is the value? What it will do? It takes same record as N, but what? Key figures being multiplied by what? -1. See what is before image, and other one is after image is nothing but after changing what is the value. One is before changing what is the value, that will be taken as what? It will be taken same record as your N, but the key figures are multiplied by -1. That's nothing but your before image. Then what is it now? Actually I am loading only one record, but it will taken as after changing the value is what? 100, 5. So that is nothing but your after image, right? And this is a new record now. What happens? This is a record which is coming to the DSO for the first time. Will be marked as what? N. And when I am loading now data from DSO to the cube, what is going to happen now? C1M1, 2 records are coming, same values, C1M1, C1M1. 100 minus 100 is 0, 5 minus 2 is 3, 500 minus 200 is Now, even though it added up, even though it adds up also, what is the value now? C1 M1, 100 plus 0 is 100. Okay? 2 plus 3 is 5. Then 200 plus 300 is. So now, is it same record as your source or not? That's nothing but using a DSO, you're trying to load a difference value. Using a DSO, you're trying to load what? The difference. So what is a very important logic to remember is, right? So when I'm loading a modified record to my DSO, it will be considered as, how many records? 2 records. One is before changing what is the value, and the other one is after changing what is the value. So before changing what is the value, this is nothing but it will be taking a same record as your n. But the key figures are being multiplied by -1. That's nothing but your before image, and the other one is after changing what is the value. That's nothing but your after image. So that's nothing but using a DSO, what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to load only the difference value. So that even though your values are adding up also is nothing but a same record it is going to be considered. Right. So any doubts with this particular concept? Srinivas? Yes. Same concept. That was there it was called as ODS, but here we call it as a DSO. Yeah, ODS is a flat table. Same thing. DSO is ODS, DSO both are same only. Only naming is different. 3.5 we call it as ODS, operational data store, and 7 we call it as a data store object. Same, yes, same logic. Yeah, Vinay? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hmm? I will discuss that part. Still we have not yet come. So I'm asking about images concept. Is images concept is clear? This concept what we are discussing is clear? Yeah. Vinay? Venkat? Hello? Yeah, Venkat, tell me. How DSO? Yeah, you have to specify the primary keys and all, right? Generally, what we are taking in my DSO, same thing also we are taking into your cube, right? Yeah. Vinay, is it clear for you? Okay, fine. So you can go on mute now. So now we'll start now discussing about what is exactly DSO, how exactly it works. So now DSO stands for, what is it now? Data Store Object. DSO stands for what? Data Store Object. Then DSO is a two-dimensional. So cube is what we said? Multi-dimensional. You have the concept of fact table, dimensional tables. And what is that? Moreover, I was taking customer number, but storage is in the form of dimensional. But here it's not like that. If I'm taking customer number, means storage is also in the form of customer number only. Clear? So what is that? Not DSO is a two-dimensional table. It's a flat, just like how your data is storing in R3. Same way, if you want to store in BI, you can use what? DSO. Then what is that? DSO is a info provider as well as what? Data target. That means DSO is a info provider means, right, objects which sends data for reporting are called as info providers. Then data target means objects to which we can load data are called as data target. Right, that means on a DSO we are not only loading the data, we can use this data for a reporting purpose also. Here the logic is clear. Then what is that other part, you know? Whenever we create a DSO, what happens? System will generate 3 tables by default. Right, so when content you are creating a DSO, but what is going to happen in the database is it generates 3 flat tables, right? So now, when you created an info object, what are the tables it has generated? P, T, and S. When you created a cube, what are the tables it has generated? Fact table F and dimensional tables. But when you are creating a DSO, same thing. System is going to generate how many tables now? 3 tables. The first one being called as new data table. Then second one is called as what? Active data table. And third one is called as change log table. Okay, so whenever we are creating a DSO, system generates 3 tables in the database, right? What are the 3 tables now? One is new data table, next is active data table, and third is change log table. Okay? Now, suppose imagine now how is my requirement. Suppose we are creating one. This is your, what happens now? When I have created a DSO, internally in the database, what is going to happen now? It is going to generate how many tables now? 3 tables. One is new data table, other one is active data table, and one more is change log table, right? So whenever we are creating a DSO, what is that now? System generates 3 tables by default. What are the 3 tables? One is new data table, and other one is active data table, and what is the last one is change log table. Clear? So when you are creating a DSO, what is going to happen? Internally in the database, it generates 3 tables by default. What are the 3 tables is? One is new, next is active, and other one is change log. Now, what is my requirement? I have a flat file. So from this file, I want to load my data into my. So what you will be doing? You will create one data source. So from file to data source. Then between data source to DSO, what you will do? You will be creating a transformation. So between this, I have to create now. For this transformation, what is that now? Source is so for this transformation, what is that now? Source is your data source. Then target is your target is what? DSO. Then what is that now from DSO where I am loading now? Let's fill in this part. From DSO where we are loading now? To the cube, right? Now again between DSO to cube it is one more transformation, right? No need to stage the, we don't have any PSA because DSO in BI itself, why should I stage it? So for this transformation, what is that now? For this transformation, source is DSO, target is cube. Clear, the flow is clear now? So from file first I am loading into DSO, from DSO we are loading it into my info cube. And what is that? So from here to here is through what? Through a info package. From file to this one is through what? Then what now? From here to where we are loading? To the DSO. That is your, what is that? DTP1. Okay, from PSA to the DSO is first DTP. Then again from DSO to the cube is what? That's the second DTP. Right? Fine. Now, what is that requirement now? See now, from file we are loading into DSO first. From DSO we are loading it into cube. Then, what is that now? See, when I am creating a DSO, as I said, what is that now? Database it is generating three tables: new table, active table, and change log table. And what is that? See, whenever we load data to what? DSO. As and down when I load data to DSO, whether it is, that means you are saying you are loading to data to DSO means you are triggering your what? First DTP. Now in this DTP you get two options. One is full and other one is delta. Whether it is full or delta, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, whenever we are loading data to DSO, what is going to happen now? Data enters what is that? New data table first. So whenever you load data to DSO, now what is that now? Data enters. As and on when you load data to DSO, that means when I am triggering my first DTP, whether you select full load or delta load, anytime, where does your data enters now? Into your new table. Suppose now I am loading now 10 records into my DSO, for the example you have seen. So now, where does data comes now? All the 10 records will be entering into new data table. So as and when you load data to DFT, whenever we load data to the cube, from what? DSO. I am loading data to the cube from where? From my DSO. That means you are triggering your GTP2. Now in this GTP2 you get two options. One is full and delta. Right, so when I am loading data to the cube from DSO with, what is that now? With full update, data comes from what? Active data table of the DSO. So whenever we are loading data to the cube from what? From DSO, where is the data is coming from? From the active data table of your. So that means if you are selecting here in DTP2, if you select full, in this DTP2, if you select what? Then data will be coming from active data table of the DSO. But same thing, if you select, suppose, with what? If you select what? Delta. That means in this DTP2, if you select delta update, data comes from what? Change log table of the DSO. Hear this logic? So when you are loading the data to the cube from DSO by selecting what? Full update, data will come from active data table. But if you select there, what is that now? Delta. If you select there, what is that option now? Okay, if you select delta, data will come from what? From the change log table of your DSO. Now, with this statement, can you tell me which table of DSO is maintaining the images now? Images. So there was no problem for the first time. The problem occurs from where? From the second time. The problem is from what? When I am getting a modified record means from that means the second time data is coming from where? Change log table. That means the change log table of your DSO will be maintaining what? So clear what is the purpose of using a change log table is? To maintain the what? Image. So what is the use of change log table now? Change log table of DSO will maintain the what it will maintain now? Clear what is the use of change log table is clear? Right. Then as I said, we can develop reports on DSO. Whenever we execute a query on DSO, data comes from active data table of the DSO. So when you are developing a report on DSO, what is going to happen now? Where does data come for reporting is? From the active data table. So this is for what purpose now? This is for your reporting purpose. This is to maintain the images. This is for reporting purpose. Here's the logic now. So if you are loading data to the cube from DSO by selecting full update, data will be coming from active table. If you select delta update, data will be coming from change log table. That means it is used for images. And this active table is for what purpose now? Reporting purpose. And is there any data in the active table as of now? Is there any data in the active table as of now? Is there any data in the change log table as of now? But where is your data now? It's in your new table. That means, what does that mean now? Loading of data to DSO will not end your task. After loading data to the DSO, what is that now? I need to move my data from new table to active table, and so that is what we call as activation of data in DSO. What is that now? This is not activation of DSO, this is activation of data in DSO. What is that now? Whenever we activate the data in what? DSO, data will move from what? New data table to active data table and change log table. So that means, as and when I load data to the DSO, immediately you have to perform a process called what? Activation of data in. Now right now, this is what is your file 1. Let us, I can say like this. This is how data looks in DSO, file 1. What is that now? Before activation of data in DSO. Now, let us say later on, now what is that now? I am performing a process called activation of data in my DSO. So now what is that I am doing now? We are performing now something called as activation of data in okay, so let us say this is activation of data in what? Now what happens? Data will be moved from new table to active table and what? And what happens in your change log table now? Marked as N. And when I am loading data to my cube, what is that happens now? Is it same data is coming to the cube also? Now when I am developing a report on DSO, what is data is coming is from? Active table. Is it when if you develop a report also, same data, if you develop a report here also? Is it clear now? So any doubts with this first file part? So that means, what is that now? Whenever I am activating the data in DSO, data will be moved from what? New table to active table, and so that means, as and when I load data to DSO, immediately you have to perform a process called activation of data in the. So if we don't activate the data in DSO, what happens now? This request will not be available for what purpose now? Reporting. If you don't activate the data in DSO, what is going to happen now? This request will not be available for reporting purpose. That's what, no? If I'm not activating now, there is no data in DSO, active table. That means this data will not be available for. So that means, what is that now? From here on, how is it? First you have to trigger a info package, then data will be coming to what? PSA. Then I was triggering my GTP1. What is going to happen now? Data will come to new data table of DSO. Then after this, we are performing what? Activate the data in DSO. Then data will move from new data table to what? Active data table and what? Change log table. Then after this, what we are doing? We are triggering our DTP2. Data will be loaded into what? Now suppose, imagine you want to load every data into a cube every 1 hour. You want to load data into the cube every 1 hour. Every 1 hour I have to perform these processes. Can I go and do them every 1 hour manually? Is it possible? Is it recommended? No, right? So that's why what we'll be doing. At the end, all these things, all these processes we are going to develop, we are going to automate it. Right now I'm showing you manually process by process. And then we are going to all automate it. That is what we call it as a process chain. The main purpose of your BI implementation project is to develop this process chain. So once your process chain is ready, it's all now supporting. Once in the support project, these process chains will be running. You'll be just monitoring whether your process chains are successfully running or not. So right now what we are learning all these things is ultimate for development of my process chain. Okay, now as of now, any doubts up to this particular part? Up to this part is clear? Right. So tomorrow we'll continue from here itself. So tomorrow we'll try to finish it up the DSO exercise. Okay, I think it will be, if I take 1.5 hours, 8 to 9:30, definitely it will be finished. So Vinay, please don't come late tomorrow.